And welcome everybody to Beyond Movies. We're doing movie TV news because that's what we do all the time. Isn't that right, Kyle?
That is right, yes.
Yep, we do it every single hour. So tune in.
Yep.
There's not an hour that goes by which we ain't uploading.
And there ain't an hour where I'm not in Callum's room
Get out.
doing unspeakable things.
Get out.
Alright, sorry.
Do you know my mate saying that at work and he went, that was fucking weird, that. So,
And you wanna see something even weirder?
you're in
Callum's
his
friend.
room.
I'm not in his room, but I'm not even in my I am. I'm also in my room, but I'm in my room at the same time.
Yeah. A better angle.
Movie magic.
Yeah. You could have really sold it there, the illusion, but now people know.
Yeah, but they might skip this bit. But
Yeah. No, I don't think they will. I think we're
right, let's
comedic geniuses that deserve to be noticed. Anyway,
okay. That helps you sleep.
I can't. The Last of Us Season 2. We've got a date. Not an exact date, we've got a month. April. We're getting Season 2, which is good. I thought it'd be coming out a lot later. Still over 2 years from the first season coming out. Which
It doesn't feel like that.
it's crazy, isn't it? It is literally like a year next week on Tuesday or something that it came out. Because we get it on Mondays. So, but yeah, that's nuts, isn't it? 2 years since the first season. Oh, it'll be over 2 years. It's happening in April. I might get if it happens towards back end of April, I might get it as a birthday present. The first episode. So that's alright. It falls
Means I don't have to get you on.
It falls perfectly on my birthday. It's guaranteed I'll be getting an episode at Last of Us for my birthday.
Very likely.
Yeah. My birthday's the 21st, so we get it on the Monday, which is the Monday the 21st, so yeah. Last year I got the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer.
Yeah, didn't you get like Thor or Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, I did. Do you know what? I did get that because I
Yeah.
was going back watching the old trailers on Marvel, it's a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and I did get that. I remember. It's
Yeah.
crazy that things like just happen like that in life. Like I was watching the trailers and you just mentioned it, and that was yeah. Anyway,
So The Last of Us anyway fucking looks shit. I'm joking. No, but going into this,
yeah, we know
we
what's
didn't
happening.
speak about the trailer, but we from the games we've both played the game. Callum didn't complete it, and I kind of don't blame him. The story's not that great, so this is where the excitement for me comes in with this season. Obviously, I'm one of the, I would say few, but I don't think I am. I'm one of the people that enjoy the first season of the show, which covers the events of the first game. I enjoy that more than playing the game and how the story unfolds in the game.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not to say the game isn't terrible or anything like that. It's worse. I just prefer it. I do think the gameplay in the second one is a lot better, but when it comes to the story, it didn't hit it for me. I was kind of left a bit like, I kind of want to stop playing. I
As
don't
soon
want
as
to do
things
this
changed,
anymore.
I stopped playing.
Yeah, so it's, but hopefully they can maybe, refine some things here and there. Maybe, don't change it because then you're kind of backtracking on what you set out to do. There was clearly a story there. There is people that do love the second gameplay and story combined, or just the story. But for me, the story wasn't it for me, and I really hope that they can at least do some things to maybe refine it. They're definitely going to extend on some things and improve on some things. Maybe it can just help me get more attached to the new characters. I'll say,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's where I stand with this.
Well, they have got
But
the benefit of hindsight with this.
they
know
they do, yeah.
how people reacted the first time. And do you know, I didn't hate the story. I quite enjoyed it when I was playing it. Up to a certain moment. It's just seeing it, watching it is that's not going to happen because you're not playing, you're just watching. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So
Yeah, I think the thing for me that made, like, honestly, the reason why I completed the second game, I can't really say because it's sort of like a spoiler, but it's I'll put it down to gameplay.
completely, mate.
That's all I'll say. It just, the gameplay is amazing. It's quite simple, but it's so well refined. And when it comes to the story aspect of it, I just didn't care. I was sort of losing interest. Even when things
Yeah.
started to pick up and be like, oh, okay, it's getting interesting now, I was still losing interest. But I will say there is one mission that I think is so fucking good, and I hope we see that in this, like, because there's so much. I can't say much because it'll spoil it, but
Yeah,
there's
as we're
so much
getting,
detail in that game,
yeah, no, as we're getting
and I
close
hope
to
that
this release
carries
date,
over.
I don't want to spoil
Yeah.
out because after this first trailer that we've just seen, not first, this isn't a first trailer. After this teaser we've just seen, it showed me more and more that they are doing the game. So I don't want to even hint towards anything at all now. So, yeah. Kyle, we alright?
Yeah. I'm just a bit frozen, but you can continue.
Yeah, it's like you are proper frozen. There we go. He's coming back. Snapping back to
I
reality.
am.
No, it's
I'm
he's
two
not.
footing squares. No, I'm not. I'm exactly the same as I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
There we are.
Kyle's back. But do you think now that they are... I think they will change some things, but do you think they are sticking with, for the most part, that story from the second game?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so as well. So we are going to be very conscious here on the channel not to spoil it, because we're so close now, and if you've only seen the TV show and you've just jumped onto this to watch it, then, ooh, fair enough. You know, if you were watching our videos last year when we were talking about Last of Us 2, you probably already you've already played the game if you're getting recommended it now, but if you just watched the trailer and now you're getting recommended this, yeah, we ain't spoiling it. But yeah, I'm excited. Kyle's excited. Be a nice birthday present for me. We'll have to do Last of Us and he can tug me off.
I mean, shit, at least, wait for me to get into your room, do you know what I mean?
Mate, you're trying to make this a gimmick, right? And it ain't working.
Yeah, it's failed on me. It's
Yeah.
not working.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
I'm in your room.
Yeah. Mate, that's my old setup.
Fucking shit.
That's better. I like that. Right, let's get on to the next topic. Reacher, Season 3. Kyle, you've only recently got into Reacher, haven't you?
I've not seen the second season, so just putting it out there.
And you watched the trailer for the third?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know what? I didn't think you'd have done that, but he did.
Yeah, the thing is, like, with the first season of Reacher, it's very much like, I get the vibe of the show and I get what it's doing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that I'll understand anything that's going on in the third season. It's not like...
The good thing with Reacher is every season's going to be, like, very disconnected.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that this is so disconnected from Season 2.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I love about Reacher. This is the 80s action films, but in television format. And every 2 years or so, we're getting a new season, which is a completely new story. Because that's what the Reacher books are. They're, Jack Reacher. I'm pretty sure it's something different every time, and they've got a load to choose from. And they could do original stories as well. I haven't read the book, so maybe Season 2 was an original story, maybe Season 3 is an original story. But yeah, what do you think of this trailer?
I think Alan Richardson should be cast as the Master Chief in whatever we get that in next. Sorry, just a little Halo thing there. But yeah, no, it looks exciting.
Do you
it
know
looks
what,
like
Kyle?
it's
Nothing about you says you like Halo.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, my Needler and my countless Halo collectibles and all that shebang. Yeah, no. So, from what I gather of, like, I've only seen little bits here and there of like the second season. I think I saw like one trailer, but this was before I even saw the first season. So it looks like it's just more Reacher. It looks a bit more action packed. You know, you've got that sort of bigger guy there now, which is going to, you know, spice up the fights a little bit, I think. It just looks, like I can't describe it any better than you said. It looks like that sort of action flick,
Yeah.
but in a TV show format. And it, you know, from what we got on the first season, it works.
Yeah, no, it is 80s action in TV format, and that's what's so great about it, and that's what we need. It is that when it was all about, let's get this big muscly guy doing big muscly guy shit and killing people.
Don't think people want to see a big muscly guy's shit, but okay. Which is on.
You could study it. But yeah, anyway, I suggest that you get a season 2 watch then, because I really won't mind watching season 3 with you. It's in February, so not far off now.
I probably will crack on with that now. Yeah. I mean, I finished For All Mankind, so I've got a bit of a free slate. But,
definitely get Reacher finished then, mate, because we're going to be watching that together. Do you know what, as well, just one more thing I want to mention. They always kill it with the music choices in the trailers. Season 2, I remember, it had, because the trailer for Season 2 came out in 23, and it was coming out in December of 2023, and when that trailer dropped, and it was just that year we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with the Adam Warlock song, Crazy on You. That were playing in the trailer, and this one with Wayward Son. It's like, they just don't miss with the music in these trailers. They're perfect. Just carry on our way. Anyway, let's get on to the next topic, Kyle. Boom. Black Panther. This coming to us from Jeff Snyder. No, I am not doing that. The disrespect. No, Kyle. No, this is getting cut. This is getting cut.
If you cut this, it's a dishonour to Ryan Gosling.
What about Chadwick Boseman?
Well, listen, right, let's go into the topic actually seriously now.
Right.
What does it mean by recasting? Because the character in universe has sadly passed away.
Yes, so this is what we're going to be chatting about, Kyle. So there's many different reasons and different ways they could do this. First of all, before we get any further into it, this is coming to us from Jeff Snyder, the Insider. So this guy's got like a 95% success rate when he's, bringing scoops out. So that's why we'll talk about stuff like this. Is Marvel now are looking to recast T'Challa? Okay, how will they do it? Because like you said, he's dead in universe, in the main, in the sacred timeline. So how will they do this? Is it going to be a variant? You are trying to make me crack and it ain't happening. Is it going to be a variant of T'Challa from, let's say, the Fantastic Four's universe? Obviously, the Fantastic Four's got quite a connection with Black Panther. Maybe they could do it like that. Is it going to be his son, aged up, and then comes back in time, or something like that? There's so many different ways they could do it. But I think them looking to get a new T'Challa is the right thing. I think it would have been the right thing to do for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You could have still honoured Chadwick Boseman that way, but I get it, it was out of nowhere, it was soon, very soon after his death that Wakanda Forever came out. When did Chadwick pass? 2020?
I believe so,
August of 2020, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you called me and just said Chadwick Boseman's dead, and I was like, I was just waking up and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, August of
Yeah.
2020, and then Wakanda Forever came out in 2022. So they obviously Marvel had a tough decision to make, and anything they did, I think people would have been mad at them. Well, they've done the route now of no recasting. You know, they made Shuri Black Panther, which I love Shuri as a character. I say this every time. She shouldn't have been Black Panther. There was three better options there in front of her. There was Okoye, Nakia, and the person who was going to give the heart-shaped herb to last time, M'Baku. So, there were three better options there. But recasting is the right thing to do. They've tried that way. As much as... I don't want to say I like Wakanda Forever. It's what best way I could describe it, which I described it when it came out. It says it's the best time I've had at a funeral. But yeah, I think recasting is the right thing to do, and you can honour someone's legacy with that. Look at Harrison Ford now, taking on William Hurt's role as Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, people were like, oh, the double standard. It's not the same though. Thunderbolt Ross was never a main character. He was a side character. So I guess that's why they did it with that. But no, I'm 100% down for a recast. I don't want to discuss who here right now because I just want to talk about how I feel about it, and I think like it's the right thing to do. But how do you feel about this, Kyle? And no, it shouldn't be Ryan Gosling.
And it should be Ryan Gosling. But anyways, you talk a lot of feel there, and I get that. It is still kind of
See,
tough.
I can be deep and
It's still quite.
emotional.
You can be, but it is a bit still quite fresh, I think, in our minds. Just with Chadwick, obviously his passing.
It'll be
But
5 years
I
this
think
year.
the way I know, I think one of the great things that Marvel did though is obviously they didn't recast. They did the film, and yeah, it wasn't like the best film in the world. And like you say, it does have like it feels like something's missing, and obviously it is Chadwick. But at the end when they revealed that, you know, T'Challa had a son, and T'Challa, you know, the child's name is T'Challa as well. That was like, okay,
Yeah.
Marvel did a really, really smart thing here because what it does is it cements Chadwick's legacy in the films, in universe, as well as in real life, and it also then you can carry on doing the stories that involve T'Challa in the comics and things like that. You can, you've got this big event coming up with Avengers. Just age him up in that because
Yeah.
it's multiversal. There's time travel and stuff. I think that's the route they're gonna do it. Yeah, it's somewhat a little bit. You can kind of theorize the direction they're going, like we've just kind of said, but it's it's the right thing to do, and
I
I
think
think they
aging
played
up
it really smart.
T'Challa's son is the best thing to do.
It was smart and it was surprising.
Yeah.
I think for me that was like such a bittersweet thing, bittersweet ending to the film.
Oh,
Um,
usually when
it,
a film
it was
finishes, first thing me and Kyle do is look at each other.
yeah,
I could not look at him when that finished. You know, the Rihanna
yeah,
song's playing and everything. I'm just looking ahead, just like,
yeah. It's like I say, it's still quite fresh on our minds. But again, it's nice that Chadwick's sort of legacy in the films and in real life is now
yeah.
cemented in the MCU, which is really awesome.
Oh, yeah, and he went on an absolute tear as well. Like the MCU projects he was involved in Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame. That is, I'm telling you right now, 3 out of 4 of them films might be a lot of people's top 3 MCU films.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but you're right as well. The one thing that was missing from Wakanda Forever is Chadwick. And I feel like we are at a time now where we can accept a recast because we have also seen the other side of the coin, if you know what I mean. They've done the whole this one's for Chad, and now I feel like a recast is, I think it's hard to say, it's necessary, and I think I think it should have been done the first time round, personally, but they didn't. But they're finally doing it now, and I feel like they feel like now they've waited long enough to recast. Because half a decade, which is nuts. But yeah, we're not, like I said, we're not going to talk about here who should play the new Black Panther. I'm sure whoever Marvel casts will honour Chadwick Boseman. You know, I've got a few ideas in my head, but I'm not going to share them here now. But anyway, Kyle, should we get on to our final topic?
Mm-hmm.
The Batman. Oh, you had to take Ryan Gosling down for that one. Yeah. Alright. The Batman. There's been a lot of discourse online lately whether Robert Pattinson's Batman should join James Gunn's DCU. Now, as I will put in the show together today, Andy Muschietti has made some comments saying, no, this ain't happening. It's going to stay its own thing. Matt Reeves is going to do his own thing. Which is alright him saying that. And I believe him. But let's jump in on what people have been talking about online. Should Robert Pattinson's Batman join the DCU? Because the way Matt Reeves has been talking about it is, look, he even said they'd have to find a way for it to work, and then they'd do it. So it's not like these discussions aren't happening, because I bet they are. And it's not like Andy Muschietti is going to get fired and go, oh, there you go, Andy Muschietti, you're no longer directing a Batman film. He'll probably maybe get to direct like a Teen Titans film or something along them lines. But, yeah. I'll ask you first, Kyle. Well, don't give me a direct answer right away. Just what are your overall thoughts on Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCU, world's finest, with David Corenswet as Superman? What do you think?
It's hard to say because of just the situation that this Batman is, this world that the Batman is in. It's very much like cut off from everything else. It feels like that in the film, but you know, when you think about it, that's kind of how Batman should be, regardless. Even if like he is connected to the Justice League or something else, he should still feel very cut off from Gotham, his presence, the villains. This world, this side of the world, should be cut off from the rest of it. But then it should be able to join up with it, because you look at Batman, he's not like when he's put with the Justice League, he doesn't change his personality. He doesn't become this more light-hearted person. He's still Bruce Wayne. He's still the Batman. Yeah. And, I think the only issues that you're going to have with this is that, you want James Gunn to have full control here. You don't want him have to sort of like shape it around Matt Reeves, and you don't want Matt Reeves to shape it around
James Gunn.
His, exactly. So by the way it's looking, it's very much like the Batman is probably going to be separate, just because of like the Superman film is already going to have this established roster of heroes. You're going to have a world that is already filled with heroes. And yeah, there's not, like I said, there doesn't have to be a presence of that in any sort of Batman film. But then you've got the issues going forward when they want to do, say, like the Justice League or something like that. I just think if it was a bit more, if James Gunn was probably a little bit, had a little bit of involvement when it comes to the Batman, I think there could have been a chance, and I think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Batman is far too ingrained in itself to be then connected to something else. It's like the Joker. As far I like the first one. Obviously, we agree the second one's not the best, but
I really like the first one.
Again, it's very disconnected, and it's fine and it works and it doesn't need to be connected to anything else. And I think a lot of people are going to be fine with having two Batmen on screen in their own separate films. And one other thing I'll say as well, from what it sounds like, you've got with the Brave and the Bold Batman film, which is going to be DCU's first, appearance of Batman.
Oh, it's already.
What's that?
The DCU has already had its first appearance of Batman.
I mean, I'm going to wait until James Gunn says something about that.
What, he
has? Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
you probably haven't seen it. It's been fucking spoiled for me.
What?
A silhouette.
What, seeing the silhouette? Yeah, no, you see it, but I mean, it's still early days. But I don't know. I think that's just very random that they put that in there. I don't necessarily agree with that. But let's say if they did want to take this version, Robert Pattinson's Batman, and sort of mold the sequel into Brave and the Bold, which could work from maybe a writer's from like a production perspective, because Matt Reeves hasn't even started. He's only just started getting the sequel going to the Batman, and then you've got James Gunn, who's not even working on this yet. We just have a title and a potential directing with Andy Muschietti. Production wise, yeah, this would line up perfectly. But these two universes, which are separate, I believe they are separate, it's just not going to work. I mean, how are you going to have Robert Pattinson's Batman alongside a kid Robin? It's not going to work.
Well, they'd have to change. They'd have to completely ditch that Brave and the Bold storyline completely. Get rid of this idea. Of
I don't want them to do, because I want Robin. Give us Robin. Give us Damian Wayne.
And I want the Damian Wayne Robin as well. I feel like it'd be such an interesting dynamic of this little murderous bastard and his dad, who's just like, no killing. And I do want to see Andy Muschietti's film, and I'm with you. The Batman is so special because it is its own thing. You got to think this came out during the time of, this were going through production and everything while they were still making DCEU projects. And then it was like, we're making the Batman, and it was awesome. And another thing as well, looking at it now, I've always said this, I wouldn't be mad if Robert Pattinson was the DCU's Batman. But looking at it now, it's like, I can't imagine this guy building a fucking satellite in space for the Justice League to hang out in and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's his stuff that he's got. Maybe in the second film his gear's going to get a bit of a tune-up, but it's only taking place a couple of weeks after Penguin, the second film. So he's still going to be in year 2, going into year 3, a Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to sort of like see these two characters. From what we see of Superman, it would be really interesting to see these two on screen together. I mean, the suits, the atmosphere. I think for me, Callum, I think if the positive side of this is if the Batman does turn out to Robert Pattinson's Batman does turn out to be the DCU's new Batman, and it's connected to everything else, it would just mean that the DCU has already kicked off by being so diverse in its universe. Because, I mean, let's be real here. The Batman is a detective film. It's like a detective crime film. And you have that. What's that?
It's pretty much 7, but just Batman.
Yeah. So you've got that. You've got like a detective murder story, limited, it's quite limited in its action, but that's fine. It works for the film. That's what it needs to do. And then you've got Superman, this fantastic, climb, big, massive explosions and, giant kaiju monsters and loads of action and, a lot of heart in the film. I think that's where it would work. It'd be like, wow, the DCU has already got so much, like, diversity in it. Because for me, when it comes to the Marvel films, it very much took them a while to sort of, like, break out of that mold, that superhero mold a little bit. Especially when it For me, it really sort of broke out of it when Guardians of the Galaxy released. That just felt so different and so
Yeah,
unique, but it was connected to the MCU. But if you looked at that film and you didn't know it was a Marvel film, you'd probably go like, "Oh, that was pretty good." That,
yeah,
very, very. It felt very different. It didn't feel sort of superhero-esque in a way. So I think that's where I'll stand on it.
yeah. And look, I'm a big dirty slut. I want two on-screen Batman at the same time. Is that too much to ask? I feel like it would work better for the story. Look, they need to establish a Batman in this world of, as the first phase of DC, gods and monsters. They need to establish a Batman in a world of gods and monsters, and how does he stand out among them and still be the best hero? I love Robert Pattinson's Batman, but you put him up against one of them parademons that fucking Batfleck fought, and he's getting fucking shredded. So
At least how early, in the earlier
yeah,
stages of this version of Batman, definitely, yeah. I feel like if they were to do this, they'd have to like bolster him up and skip a couple of years, which I don't want. I want to
yeah,
see Robert Pattinson's Batman. I want to see him develop and grow, and he does that, great in the film. Look at, one thing you pointed out to me is like he doesn't, use smoke grenades and stuff like that. Like you see him use it all the time in loads of
yeah.
different
You
Batman
see him
media, but
figure it out on the
yeah, he
spot.
discovers it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's seeing that growth and that development. Another thing as well is the I like how it turned into a wingsuit, his cape, rather than sort of
yeah,
like the traditional gliding cape. So that's something he's gonna have to like work on to get it to be have a bit more control, make sure it's a bit more safer, things like that. I like seeing that, and I feel like if you put this Batman there, you're gonna jump over all this great development and seeing this on screen.
yeah. I don't think there's alt wrong with having two on-screen Batman. Look, there's a fair few people who we want to play Batman in the DCU. Is gonna have a 14, 13-year-old son, like James Gunn said. I won't mind a Jensen Ackles. We've been talking about Reacher earlier. It depends how they want to go with Batman. I really wouldn't mind Alan Richardson as Batman. Feel like he could do it. Just depends what James and Andy want to do with his character. And I feel like Matt Reeves' Batman universe is just better served being its own thing. Because then you get a show
Yes.
every now and then, like Penguin, that's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got that opportunity to flesh out these other characters like the Penguin in their own show. Which I mean, you can do it, yes, in a wider DC universe, but it just I don't know, just something about it just makes it a bit more contained and feels more exclusive to this, and it feels. I don't know, something about it just makes it feel more special and unique and makes you want to watch it because you haven't got, we've had such a small amount of this universe fed to us. We've had the Batman and now we've got the Penguin. It feels like it's sort of growing this
yeah,
side of Batman's lore, I guess. But yeah, no, I feel like Batman can hold his own as well. He can hold his own universe with having all these different characters and things. Maybe in the future we might
yes,
get a version of Robin. I'd say later down the line that's more like grizzled and experienced or whatnot. I mean, we'll have to see what they do there.
Grizzly
But
Robin.
yeah,
Nice. So yeah. Anyway, I don't think he should join the DCU. If it were gun to my head, and you're making this choice, motherfucker, what is it? I'd keep it as a separate thing. Because it's so special as its own separate thing. And look, if that means we're going to have to buy more Batman Hot Toys, then that's a shame. Because who doesn't want more Batman Hot Toys?
I'll say this: if the Batman film wasn't already out, I'd say look, have James Gunn at the very top, and then have Andy Muschietti be sort of like
Yeah.
the leader of like Metropolis, so him controlling the ins and outs of Metropolis, and then you've got Matt Reeves who controls the Gotham side of the DCU. I think that would be such a cool way, because then you would have James Gunn, the oversight. He would make sure these two connect together, and then while these two brilliant directors can just focus on building their sort of worlds, building their cities in this world. I think that'd be a really cool way to do it. But unfortunately, the Batman's already out, and it's already very much established. It's got its foot in the ground. It's already well established.
Yeah. And, look, we've got a Clayface film coming as well. Before a Batman movie. So, I don't see this Batman going up against Clayface.
Another thing I'll say about Clayface, I hope they sort of add a tone to it where it doesn't feel superhero-esque.
It's supposed to be a horror. Body horror.
I hope so. I hope it, because that's one thing I hope that James Gunn can learn from the MCU is just diversify the style of films that you've got.
Oh yeah, because remember when Doctor Strange were coming out,
horror films,
and the first Doctor Strange was like, this film's going to be horror, have horror elements. It's like, all right, okay,
and it just wasn't.
It just didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing I will say is that
second one definitely did upped it a bit, but
yeah,
still not a horror film.
One thing I will say is I'm very shocked that James isn't as hands-on with Batman as he is with Superman, and he's given the responsibility of directing to Andy Muschietti, because I would have thought that James would have directed Superman, then a Batman film, at least, but who knows? I maybe see Gunn returning to the director's chair, probably for the first Justice League film or something in that universe. But who knows? So yeah, guys, let us know down below what you think. Should Robert Pattinson's Batman join the MCU? That is right, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was on purpose.
You are gonna like confuse the fuck out of a lot of people.
What the fuck are you doing? Right. Thanks for watching, and we will see you when the Daredevil trailer comes out.
Hopefully soon.
Yep. Yep. We're not recording now until the Daredevil trailer comes out. So, see you later.